Hey guys, alright, welcome back. So this video is about a little chestnut Arab mare that is with me for training. She's been living with cattle for the past, 4 to 5 years, so she's had really no handling other than just being thrown hay and given water. So she is coming with me for the next 4 to 6 months for training to be broke to ride, and learn how to be a horse. So this little video is just showing her trailer loading and her arriving at my farm. So it was about a month ago that I actually halter broke her and was able to catch her. So this is all kind of still pretty new. She's only had like 3 to 4 sessions with me, so we're pretty new to each other as well. She is very licky, which you'll see here, and I kind of just try to stay out of her way a little bit because I'm trying to actually tie the halter, but I don't want to shoo her away because, at least at that moment, because I didn't want to have her possibly spin and go the other way, which she didn't when I finally kind of enforced my space a little bit. Because now that she's kind of gotten to the point of trusting me, she's almost too much in my space, which you will see the problem with that in just a minute here, because she has gotten so comfortable with me that she actually almost is using me for confidence, which right in this situation in a minute you'll see where it's actually not a good thing. So right here, I don't like to tiptoe around horses, so I just open the sides, some snow drops, she'll deal with it, and then all of a sudden she goes, nope, I'm gonna leave. She actually yielded to the halter pressure really well, which right there is where I pet her, because I was actually super impressed. I actually thought I was going to lose her. But right here, she just all of a sudden kind of loses, what she's doing, and she tries to rear up on top of me. I'm guessing something behind her spooked her. So I kind of just gave her a little bump on the halter to be like, just kind of almost like, when you see in the movies when someone's freaking out, they kind of slap them to kind of bring them back to the reality. That's kind of like almost what that was. I was like, hello, I am still in front of you. You are not going to run me over. And then I swung the rope as I started to back up just to make sure that she understood that there was a space bubble. And she did. She came out of it well. So I did not hit her with the rope. I was spinning it in front of me to keep that space bubble. And I know that is hard to tell from that angle, so I did not just randomly hit her in the nose with the lead rope. So as far as the trailer loading goes, goodness, I have a cold, so I'm sorry if I sound terrible. But as far as the trailer loading goes, she did really well with this. What I ended up doing is there's actually some frozen poop in there from the last horse because it froze and I haven't been able to clean it out because we've been below freezing. So basically I was letting her sniff. She did get all the way in. One thing that I never do, especially with horses that I don't know are comfortable with the trailer, or if they haven't had a lot of past trailering, I let them get in, I let them get comfortable, sniff around, I let them back out. And sometimes I'll even do that a few different times, which I do here. I believe I do end up fast forwarding the video a little bit because it was a process. But basically what I was looking for her to do was get up in the trailer and take a bite of hay. And when she did that a few times, I did ask my working student to come close the door. So this is her getting unloaded. She was pretty easy about everything. Honestly, she came off nice and quiet. Right here she spooks because the door slams. And she jumps, but she still listens to the yielding of the pressure really well. When I had kind of pulled back and was like, whoa, easy. And she did that really well. So honestly, this mare, there's obviously no wild horses in Maine, so obviously at some point this horse was somebody's pet, partner, whatever you want to call it, and obviously she knows stuff because I honestly have only worked with her 3 or 4 times. She just has some pushy behaviors that needs to be worked on. She definitely does not understand the space very well, so that's one of the first things that we are going to be working on is her confidence, her handling, and keeping her space. So right here, my attempt was to kind of show her before, like when she first walked onto the property. She just kind of has like, her mane is matted, her feet are long, she's quite chunky, especially for how small her breeding is. And here I just kind of walk her around and let her look a little bit before I turn her out. At this point in time, I really had no idea how she was going to do in the electric. She had been in electric before, but it was like the silver wire. It wasn't the white. So I was a little like, I was kind of putting it off for this kind of moment because I was like, this could go one of two ways. And if she does break through the fence, are we going to be able to catch her? She did actually escape under the gate shortly after we had stopped the video, and thankfully she got distracted by one of my other horses and we were able to catch her and put her back in, and we put up a third strand for the gate and she was fine. So this does get a little rocky here because she kind of tries to pull me around, so I pull her back. I ask her to stand for a minute. Whew, you know, when you can't breathe through your nose, it's really hard to talk consistently without getting out of breath. So we're out of frame because, you know, Susie was trying to close the gate for me. So right here's where I let her go, and I kind of got out of the way as she kind of flipped her head because I wasn't sure if she was going to absolutely just bolt off because she had just been living in that barn that you had seen in the beginning of the video. That is where she has been for the past couple months. Just kind of hanging out in there. So I really wasn't sure if she was going to take off on a full-out gallop, but honestly, she just kind of trot-trotted around. And what was really interesting is that prior to being locked up in that barn, she was actually out in a big field with hay and water, but a lot of forage, so she was able to eat twigs and, you know, branches and different things that she needed to keep herself healthy. Because her owners actually don't know a ton about horses, so they weren't supplementing her with things, so she was able to find it out in the pasture that she was in. So immediately you can see there's no hay out here, so it's really interesting to watch her because she kind of starts digging around, starts eating twigs and stuff and seeing what she can find, and kind of forages around for what her body at the moment is looking for, which I thought was really interesting. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely plan to post more on Flame as our journey progresses.